So we are backstage right now. AbilityMKE Now will be starting in less than a minute. So hang tight as we are getting our sound system all in the right place. And we've got about 30 seconds to go, so stand by. So 10 seconds. I will bring Diva in first and then we'll bring Marianne in. So stand by, we're about to start. Welcome to AbilityMKE Now. My name is Sue Roskoff. AbilityMKE Now is a show all about integration, bringing people with disabilities and people that don't have a disability together, enjoying life here in the Milwaukee area. We all have different abilities, and here at AbilityMKE Now, we dive into this topic of diverse abilities. The concept of disability hits a wide range of possibilities. We could be talking about physical or mental disabilities, the deaf and hard of hearing community, blindness, chronic pain, mental health diagnosis, goals of substance use reduction, and the list goes on. We all have our own experience with disability, whether it's our own, with people we know, or with people we encounter in our daily lives. Here at AbilityMKE Now, we break down the barriers and celebrate the ability in all of us. We have a very exciting show planned for this evening, and I'm so happy to have my wonderful co-host joining me here tonight. The lovely Diva is in the house. So Denise Vargas, come on in, and I'm so glad you're here. How are you?
I am doing fabulous. Hello, Milwaukee and everyone around the world. We're going to have an exciting show today. Can't wait to hear from our lovely guests. And let's get the show on the road.
Excellent. And Diva is, so remind everybody, what does Diva stand for?
Dream every day, visualize always. And that's why I want everyone to be a diva so that they can catch all their dreams.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Always happy to have you here. And another wonderful friend of the show. I know you've heard from Marianne of Waikiki in the past, and I'm so happy for those who have not heard of her and are not yet familiar with what she all does. You're going to want to listen up because there's so many good things going on. Marianne, come on in and share a little bit about what you were all doing in so many different areas right now. Welcome to the show.
Well, aloha, Milwaukee, and thank you so much for having me be here. I wanted to share with you that I won the Awesome Foundation Grant Award in July, $1,000. These people give $1,000 away a month to different chapters throughout United States, Canada, Brazil, throughout the world, that people can apply for $1,000, share your project. How will you use the money? And tell us about yourself. So I'm going to cover those three things. So I'm Marianne Ambrose. I go by Marianne of Waikiki. I'm a sign language interpreter. I'm an author and Apple game developer called the Acts of Kindness series, featuring 200 folk Manus puppet characters. And the books are written for animation movies with sign language characters, which no one has done. And we have a soundtrack by Lucy Lynch and her former band, The Perfect Wave, on the island of Oahu. A lot of people have had to shift as shift happens too. And we're all in different locations of the world, such as my writer is in Mexico. I'm currently in San Carlos, Mexico. Lucy and her husband relocated to Germany. And Mr. Scott, my deaf friend, he relocated to San Diego to become a veterinary assistant. And he is a deaf healer. So, but we are all still working on this project together. And thank you, Happy Neighborhood Projects, World of Ability, Sue, Kurt, Roscoff, Emily Gallmar. They're keeping us together. And we also have a special guest too, Leon McLaughlin, who joins us on Saturdays. And he's the founder of Clean Water Foundation out of Seattle, Washington. So back to that project, Sue, was tell us about your awesome project. Well, I wanted to gift the Hawaii School for the Deaf and Blind a water unit valued at $150. And our books for October for Rabbit Acts of Kindness, No Bully, for October is Anti-Bullying Month. And that dream came true through Awesome Foundation, the Oahu chapter. On October 14th, Leon was visiting Hawaii. I was up doing a book signing up in Canada, Vancouver, at a library up there with another interpreters and deaf people. And so Leon was there to deliver the water unit. We videotaped it on Zoom. They've received the books, and we will have a follow-up meeting with them to show the 15 elementary deaf school students the books and the coloring books. Now, those coloring books, you can learn the ABC finger spelling alphabet. And with our characters named Chelsea the Courageous Sign Language Chicken, Eve the finger spelling bumblebee, and Dr. Fingers the finger spelling hermit crab. Now, also, I used part of that grant money to hire Jay Stoyan from the Disability Channel out of Toronto, who hires persons with disabilities and veterans. And he has been interviewing me a couple of times a week with various hosts since August. So that dream has come true. We're reaching out to 32 million subscribers out of Toronto. Every day is a new day, Sue. Being interviewed by somebody else who I've met in this journey, and we want to get the good news and word out there as well. So again, anybody can apply for a $1,000 grant from Awesome Foundation. I also applied to any chapters, and they got back to me and said, hey, why don't you check out pollination.com? They give out $1,000 plus big projects. I believe with like farm animals and other big things, they can get up to 10,000 to 100,000. So I've been in communication. I sent them some information today and said, hey, I have a bee puppet in our fourth book for Clean Water Foundation called Pollination. And how can we bring these books into animation movies? How can we get water units to veterans hospitals with Zach Clayton and get coloring books, my coloring books, etc. So we'll get the response back. So we want to multiply this acts of kindness. We do have a press release, and you can visit my website, and that's www.actsofkindnessseries.com. A big shout out and thank you to Christian Mendez out of San Diego, who has updated it with little bells and clicks to take you to Amazon to purchase the books. Now, this past Veterans Day, I offered a free download to anybody as a gratitude, a mahalo, a thank you to our veterans for being of service. And we feature a sea turtle called the General of the New Earth Army, who recruited Noah, the hard of hearing whale, to tackle the Great Pacific Garbage Patch between Hawaii and California. And also the week before Halloween, we gave a sugar-free treat by, you could download the free book, Rabbit Acts of Kindness, No Bully. So our next free download will be March 22nd, which will be World Water Day with Leon McLaughlin and United Nations. So we're getting the messages out there again for ocean cleanup, anti-bullying, climate change. And we also have a YouTube channel now where you can learn the finger spelling alphabet with the characters. And this month we're featuring who? Greta Gobble on the golf course, Sue. So go out and play. I'm Marianne of Waikiki. This is a golf game, and you count the numbers in sign language. And it's a great app game. Again, you can visit the 10 Apple app games for free as well. And all classroom teachers in the United States of America can receive copies of my books from an organization called donorschoose.org. That's donorschoose.org. So go out and play, and back to you. Aloha, Milwaukee. I'm Marianne of Waikiki.
There are so many wonderful things going on in your corner of the world. I always love to hear all the updates and all the great success going on. You've got so many wonderful things happening. Now, I do want to back it up a little bit. When you first started to have this idea of writing the books, where were you at that point? What did that all look like? Give us a little bit more of the backstory on that.
Well, Sue, I had the opportunity to live on a 49-foot sailboat in the island of Oahu, Hawaii. And I met Mr. Scott on Easter, and I ended up interpreting for him for over a decade at the Unity Church of Hawaii. And again, that's where I met Suzanne Sims and Lucy Lynch sang there. But all this garbage was floating around and kind of wanted to know where it was coming from. And the more that we researched it, we found out that Captain Moore sailed through the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. He recognized it in 1997 when he was in the Trans-Pacific sailboat races. And they do that every 2 years from California to Hawaii, Hawaii Yacht Club, Waikiki Yacht Club. So we incorporated him into the book with statistics, and things have changed because of an organization called Ocean Cleanup. And Boynton Slat, this young man out of Europe, has created these amazing machines, vacuums. The list goes on. You can check out Ocean Cleanup and see what he's doing to collect all these soupy messes and collecting garbage floating down rivers. And I know he was doing stuff in Guadalajara. So we dedicated that first book to him. And that's how it kind of started from there. And the characters, well, Noah's a hard of hearing whale, and he's down on a Hawaiian vacation. They have a glow in the dark party. He gets hit by a black speedboat and loses his hearing. And he meets Dr. Fingers, a rehabilitative hermit crab, and he learns the ABCs, and he wants to know what kind of world he's going to live now that he's, seeing all this garbage and the sick fish and the pollution. And then he's recruited by a sea turtle who is a physical therapist at the hospital to tackle the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. So just like our veterans too, they're in a hospitals, they're rehabilitating, and we want to get grant money to bring a water unit to these veterans hospitals, as well as our coloring books and books. So I know Diva has a nice journaling books also too. She can get them out there to the world. She can apply for Awesome Foundation in New York. And yeah, so you too, Sue. So let's make some noise, get it out there. And I have an updated press release. So that's how that first book started. And then I came back from sailing 91 days, 1,700 nautical miles up the Southwest Florida to Virginia. I got to sail past the big Navy fleets, which was just amazing. And I returned, and Marilyn Rogers, a special education teacher, told me about Donors Choose. And she requested 50 books, and she got funded in 2 weeks. And Amazon shipped out the books to her classroom there. And they read the books, and then I went out and brought the characters and had a slideshow presentation with the principals and the other special ed teachers. And then Lucy came out with another album, and it was just like, okay, this is my calling. And we completed that book, and then a short book, Righteous Acts of Kindness, again, because we got to go out and play at the Polo Club out there on the North Shore and stay at the Equus Hotel there. And so wherever I went, I kind of created a book and a story because that was happening. But again, the idea is these issues are happening. They are global issues that is such as ocean cleanup, anti-bullying, and now we just finished the climate change book for Leon McLaughlin, Clean Water Foundation, and United Nations. So a lot of work over this decade, and looking for funding and investors to help bring these books into animation movies. Hopefully we'll be able to pitch them to the producers and Netflix next year and kind of go for there. That's my vision. So speaking of my vision, Sue, I had what do you call it, eyelid laser surgery because my eyelids were becoming droopy, which interfered with me seeing and visioning. And that happens to a lot of people. I'm going to say later in life. And Kurt is getting up there too. So, senior living 55, or it can happen to anybody. But needless to say, I'm grateful because I met a doctor here in San Carlos, and they just opened up a new hospital here, a San Jose hospital. And I went to his office, and he performed a laser. And I went back this week for the underneath, and he's like, well, you really need to have them cut and then stitched. And I'm like, no, I'll get a diamond earring, lift them up. Okay. I'm not going to do it, but we'll see. I'm recovering. It felt like I've never had tattoos, but it was a lot of little needle injections. And then it kind of felt like a hot glue gun, but they just put topical salve on it. And it took about a half hour. And I was grateful too that I've met other retired nurses down here, and a sailor, Carla, she's a retired vet nurse, and she drove me and she read my book and loved it. And so I got escorted both ways. So, it's great to, kind of get out there and meet the right people, or you never know what can happen. And then I find out, we got another sailor lady from Canada. She had it done twice. When I was in Canada, another friend, she's like, yeah, I had it done. Now I can wear eyeshadow. Then I find out my landlord and his wife had it done. So I guess it happens. And yeah. So he made it work so that I could afford it down here, and we'll see the results and go from there. So if people are looking at this, and I believe insurances are covering it now because you can't see, so there you go, the droopy eyelid syndrome. But I'm recovering, and the captain's back with the husky dog, so he's working on the boat and gonna put it in the water next week. So I got a service dog here now.
Oh,
Even better,
nice.
right?
That
And
always helps.
yeah, yeah. So again, some of those things happen. So next is the dental, and it's a lot more affordable down here in Mexico. And we'll have all that done, and we'll move forward with that. So we'll be ready then for 2025 to hopefully do a major book signing with Leon McLaughlin and Clean Water Foundation. They're supposed to be marketing the books. And so I'm sitting here for the winter. We still have some editing to do, and my gosh, you think it would end, and I can't wait for it to end, but it will be, and they're done because we've updated it and a lot has changed, and we wanted to add additions, and we're so honored that Leon McLaughlin is going to be marketing these, especially United Nations, so people will see them out into the world. So, maybe it wasn't right away J.K. Rowling famous, whatever, people book author, and, for a $20 book, but it's getting the messages out there, and it's been great fun to create coloring books. I know Diva has done a lot of journaling books as well, and if she wants to share that with us too, it's a lot of work. And I'm grateful that I have my team in Pakistan because they're really, really good, and they also have great graphic designs and the colors. And it's been great fun working with them. Now I get up at 3 o'clock in the morning working with them in Pakistan, so that's been great fun. And it's like Christmas when they send me the stuff over. And also through Happy Neighborhood Project, I want to thank Jesper, who we met in the Book Lovers Club. He reviewed the books. He told me what to do in a different way, or sizings and fonts. And he wrote a great review testimonial that we'll be uploading as well. And he introduced me to another guy in India who can update my LinkedIn um, profile too as well, so that it's more attractive to find investors again to bring movies. And yeah, so it doesn't sound like I want to do a lot of work, and it's just like all this stuff, but technically I can't see. So if I have the right people doing it, and making it look better and presentable, then that's what we have to do, and it will get there out there to the world. But as far as I know, people love the books, reading the stories, the characters' names, they crack up with it, creating t-shirts, and we got the app game. So we just need to get the world playing and talking about it. So we will show you Greta Gobble for the next couple of weeks now. She's on the golf course. And how did that happen? I happened to be in Waikoloa golf course, I don't know, 7 years ago. And yeah, so that's how it kind of started. And to know, little know thing about turkeys, they lived on the golf course there on the big island of Hawaii. And this, I didn't know this either. You didn't really think about where turkeys sleep, but at the end of dusk, or, they start lining up like airplanes, like they're ready to take off, and they fly up into the trees to sleep because they don't want prey to get them. I did not know that.
I did
But
not know
these
that either.
but these turkeys would come knocking on the condo's door looking for food from everybody. So that was great fun. And they, I was saying that like pets, but yeah, it was pretty interesting. So anyway, that's how that kind of stemmed. And Folk Man has had the puppet. So And then also now, Sue, we have amazing social media influencer, Milwaukee. His name is Santa Papa John. Santa Papa John is out there a couple of days a week now on the weekends. He's promoting his Santa Papa John business to create videos specialized for everyone. And he's also promoting the Acts of Kindness series book. So I couldn't ask for anything more than Santa Papa John being our social media marketing influencer. And I tell that to my girlfriend when I saw her. I go, and you won't even believe who my social media marketing is. I go, it's Santa.
Can't beat that, especially with Christmas coming up. And, another friend is joining us here, and I know she's familiar with Santa as well. But Debbie Miller is in the house. I want to have you come on in and say hello and remind everybody who you are.
Thanks, Sue. I'm glad to be here. It's nice to see Mary Ann and our famous diva as well. And happy birthday to you yesterday. That was pretty
Aw,
exciting to remember and celebrate. I'm Debbie Miller with Prepaid Legal Services Inc., which is Legal Shield and ID Shield products. We recently updated our legal plan, so now you have a choice of one of three plans, whatever fits your needs the most. And I love that it's affordable and accessible so that all of us can actually have attorneys right at our beck and call from an app on our phone. So thank you, Sue, for let me being here.
awesome. Always glad to have you here. And Diva, I want to bring you back in as well. I know that it was mentioned that you have a journal. I'm wondering if you want to share a little bit more about what that is and where we can find that.
Sure. So my journal is called Make Dreams Happen. And thank you, Debbie, for holding it up. It's called Make Dreams Happen. And it's part journal, part coloring book, part meditation. It gives you information on how to be happy, on how to live the lifestyle that you've always dreamt of. So that it's kind of like 4 books in one, but yes, you can find it at Amazon, Make Dreams Happen by Denise Vargas. And yeah, it was a beautiful journey to go on. And I hope that everyone who uses it has as much joy in using it as I did in creating it. Thank you.
Excellent. And I see Debbie has a copy of it. That's amazing. So do you have anything you want to share about what you've enjoyed with that?
Oh, can we see that cover again, please?
Yeah, so for
Oh my gosh, that's beautiful.
it looks like a nice Hawaiian scene there, actually. It's a
Yeah.
beautiful cover
Yes,
with palm trees
this,
and a beautiful
and it's a hardback book, so it's easy to write on. It's got beautiful, pictures that you can color. It also has great spaces for you just to doodle. Empty spaces to doodle and pages to color, and then just pages where you can write in what you're journaling for today. So it's always, some of us are not just gifted with lots of stories, so it helps to have some prompts to help us get the right words out or to figure out what we really want to say about today. So all of us with whatever ability we have, this can be helpful, soothing, but also inspiring. So thank you, Diva, for this book.
Thank you.
And again, how do we find it, Diva?
Amazon. It's available on Amazon. Make Dreams Happen by Denise Vargas.
Excellent. So that's pretty awesome. We've got two authors on the screen with us right now with wonderful things that they offer available out on Amazon. And it's there's so many good things that are pieces that make life better, right? Having, and I'm thinking ahead here with the holidays coming up, and I might have to give some hints to my family of what I might like for Christmas. I'm liking what I see and liking what I hear. And I know you mentioned about Greta Gobble on the golf course. Holiday season is upon us. It's here. I figure once we get past my birthday, it's like, okay, it all switches gears pretty quickly now, and it's a time of year that I think no matter who you are, where you are, it takes people a little differently in some respect, where there's there's family dynamics perhaps, there's planning, there's events, there's a lot of things that we can plug into. There's also, I know from what I do working with Project Die Hard and working with the veteran organization, they are all about providing hope to veterans and helping to give hope, because the issue of veteran suicide is unfortunately a very prevalent issue. And one thing that was brought up in an event I was listening to just a few days ago, with it being Veterans Day, they were talking about how the holiday spike is coming up. And when you first hear that, it's like the what? The holiday spike? What are you talking? It actually is an unfortunate thing that during the holiday season there tends to actually be more suicides, which is, it just breaks my heart thinking about that. There's so many different things that go into that, right? Of how a person ends up at that point. But what it reminds us of is to check your vet, check your friends, check on people. There's a lot of people that are not able for whatever reason to leave their homes. They have, the transportation side of thing doesn't work out necessarily to be able to go places very often. So, that might be a person you want to check in on. If there's somebody that is a friend that you have, or a family member who you haven't talked to in a while, this is a great time of year. Just give them a call, text them, something, stop in and say hi. When somebody does that for you, doesn't it change your outlook? Doesn't it help you to feel better? It's like, oh yeah, somebody was thinking about me. That can really make a difference. And I actually would challenge people to think about on a daily basis, who can you reach out to that you haven't in a while? And I know we all know each other through networking, so we have opportunities to meet people pretty often. But I think I sometimes take for granted that friends, like the old friends that I don't see very often, I gotta reach out to them too. We never know where another person is at, and to have that moment to reach out, I think is something to consider with this holiday season coming up. So I know we're coming up near the end here. I do want to take a moment to go around the room again and just find out where you're at, what thoughts you have, whether it's about the upcoming holiday season or with the Veterans Day just having been recently here. If you have what thoughts you'd like to share. So actually, Debbie, I'll start with you.
Thank you. Well, some of even just sending a card might be a really nice thing for those of us that, sending that we know of that we haven't seen for a while, or, and then it can be something that can be stuck on the refrigerator maybe or someplace. So it's not just for a couple of minutes that we're talking to them, but it can be there for a while, or they can find it later in the year and say, oh, hey, I remember this, and this was a special thing. So that might be another way to make those connections. So anyway, it's been great being here and chatting with everybody. Thanks for everybody. Sue, Marianne, Diva.
Awesome. And you're right, because that's a constant reminder then. If as long as they put it up somewhere, put it on the fridge,
Right.
that is a great reminder. I love that idea. Diva, I'm gonna pass the baton to you next.
We are getting at that time of the year where I like to plan out what I'm going to start doing for 2025. So what I would suggest is plan out your goals for the year to come, and what you want to do. And make sure, just like we were just saying, include all those people that you want to stay connected with. Don't just think about business. Think about the fun, the personal touch. What do you want to do? How do you want to get there? So definitely make that part of your planning for 2025.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Diva. Marianne, if you want to come on in and give a final thought as well, please.
Well, I'd like to encourage Diva to apply an Awesome Foundation grant for $1,000. One, she can put down that she wants to get a clean water unit filter with Leon McLaughlin, and we want to send her books to a veterans hospital. And you will purchase author copies and see what happens. And you can apply for it in New York. There's also different chapters, and there's also the disability chapter too. So you can get $1,000 and they can talk about your business as well. So and that's what I encourage you to do, because I was an Awesome Grant Foundation winner, and we
Love
gifted the
that.
Hawaii School for the Deaf and blind, a water unit, and my books and coloring books. And
Perfect.
we have
Thank
it
you
on
so much,
video.
Marianne. I appreciate you guys so much being here, and for all of us